The honey badger was not the problem. The forest was once warm and peaceful, but there was one animal everyone avoided, the honey badger. He always looked serious, walked with heavy steps, and spoke in a rough voice. Whenever there was a noisy fight at the edge of the forest, he was always there. He often fought with snakes and drove them away. The animals began to believe that the forest was restless because of him. One day, the animals gathered to talk about how to make the forest peaceful again. Maybe if the honey badger leaves, we will not be afraid anymore, said the rabbit. So they all went to the honey badger and asked him to leave the forest. He wanted to explain, but when he saw their frightened eyes, he said nothing. That evening, the honey badger left the forest all alone. After he left, the forest became quiet, and the animals felt relieved at first. Soon, strange snake tracks began to appear near the forest paths. Then the first cobra slid into the forest, and everyone grew afraid. Before long, more snakes appeared, and the forest no longer felt safe. Then the animals understood that the honey badger had been keeping danger away. The rabbit bravely set out to find the honey badger. The rabbit found the honey badger near a rocky cave and asked him to come back. "Now you remember me?" the honey badger said coldly. He spoke of his pain and how everyone had only seen him as trouble. The rabbit apologized, but the honey badger was still too hurt to return. The next day, the little deer came and admitted that they had feared his sharpness. Soon, more animals came to say sorry, and the honey badger began to feel understood. That night, cries from the forest made the honey badger stepped out of his cave. Back in the forest, he stood before the animals and said, "Stay behind me." The honey badger fought with all his strength to protect the forest. Though tired and hurt, he rose again and drove the snakes away. When the forests were safe again, the animals gathered around the honey badger with care. They apologized at last and understood that his sharpness had always been for protection. From that day on, the honey badger was no longer alone. He became the forest's true guardian.